Hello. If you're watching this video, you are probably trying to learn how to make Muscadine wine. Well, I was in your shoes about 5 months ago trying to figure it out. I got scared. I was backing out. I wasn't going to do it. And it's a little more scary than it really needs to be, so it's not that big a deal. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty fun. I did it on a kind of cheap level, but I did it totally properly. I just didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on, some of the parts can get expensive, like the glass carboy, the big glass jug. Those can be $100-something bucks starting out. So I did it different without spending that much money. And I moved into a new home that has muscadine vines in the backyard, which is really awesome. So I had free muscadines, a lot of them. And so I figured I have to learn how to do this, and I did it. This video takes you step by step from picking the muscadines to a final product, which came out cool. It's great. It's awesome. I got a bunch of this, so this is just one bottle. I got, it's in the video, 20-something bottles, or maybe 20 bottles. I don't even know. I didn't count them really, but a bunch. 4 gallons, 3.5 to 4 gallons I made of final juice. So that started off about 7 to 8 gallons of raw berries, a 5-gallon bucket and about a half another one. Anyway, it's all in this video. If you're interested in muscadine wine and how to do it, watch this video. It's fun, it's funny. I tried to shorten it down a little bit, but it's a long process with a lot of details, so don't be scared to make it. Try it. It's awesome. Check out my video. Here we go. All right, here we are in the backyard in the wine vineyard. Muscadines. All right. So here's my muscadine setup. I've already kind of trimmed them a lot. I'm trying to get every single muscadine out of there. It's the very end of, it's September, I think. Yeah, it's September. So this is about when they're kind of done. They get the nice dark color, start getting a little bit flat instead of shiny. I've picked 10 gallons, and then this other 12, 13, 20 something gallon buckets, 5-gallon buckets, 4.5, 5 times over the last month. Yeah, they falling off, they ready. Initial cleaning here. I'm just letting the bucket keep filling up, and a lot of dirt just comes to the top and runs on out on its own. How about that? Ooh. And we're gonna move it over to, one got away. Here he goes. And we're gonna move this over into our little crawfish straining pot here, which I cleaned the crap out of. We don't want the muscadine wine to taste like crawfish, although we love crawfish. And strain them out and go to step number next. All right. Kind of cleaning, picking through stems and junk. Get them going here. Uh-oh. One got away. It's like the meatball on top of spaghetti. And then my poor muscadine went down the driveway. All right, we're about done rinsing. About to transfer. Look at this dude. You see? He thinks he got away. I'm not gonna forget about you. You going in the wine, sucker. Oh, there's 2 of them. Look, here's another one. All right, here's my new sport. You heard of dunking for apples, bobbing for apples. I'm about to go bobbing for muscadines. If you can't come up with a muscadine in this, you ain't worth the crap. All right, here we go. Ready? 2 of them. All right. We just went bobbing for muscadines. I'm the new champ. All right. Here we go. We're just gonna pour them in here. Keep on cleaning. Got about 3 more runaways. Oh man, I might need a bigger pot. All right. It's all right. Plus we got a new helper today. We got Gibbies. And we got Big Boy. And we got 5 more gallons of Muscadines that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. I'm not making wine out of those. I think I'm gonna sell them. Anybody want them? All right, supplies, here's what you need. Or here's what I bought. Kind of a basic setup, but I guess I took it a little further than the most basic way to do it. Stuff I learned on the internet, so it's gotta be true, okay? All right, number 1, bucket. We're gonna squish grapes and do the initial fermentation in this bucket, but notice it is a food grade bucket. So not, get your big self out the way, Biggie. Big boy. Not an orange Home Depot bucket. Up to debate, I guess, if you care or not, but I figured for a couple more dollars, I don't want it to taste like plastic, so. And that's the other thing, I wouldn't even be doing this if this, because you can spend hundreds of dollars on a kit, and it's probably great, but I didn't want to do that. We just moved, spending money on other stuff, so I'm doing this on the cheap. So let's just say this is about $7, all right? So here we go down the line. Let's see, you need a potato smasher. You might even have one. Or you could step on grapes barefooted like they did in the old days. Just wash your feet real good. Nasty people. I'm gonna go the route where you put, this is a bag. So you could do without this and just, you know, after you smush all the grape seeds and the muscadine stuff out, you would separate them from the juice. So I've seen some people do this. It seems like the easy way to do it. You just pull this bag out, wring it out, then you got nothing but liquid in here when you go to the next container. All right, bought a cheap funnel, figured this would be easy to pour it in there. Cheesecloth, gonna cover this the first couple days where you let it start fermenting. Everything I just showed you I bought in town, like Walmart. This is at Home Depot. Home Depot has this food grade bucket. It's in the, ask somebody that works there. It's not, you know, they're not sitting everywhere like the orange buckets. All right, Amazon. These little stopper dudes, it's gonna be this guy here that's gonna let the thing air out but not back in for fermenting. Amazon Camden tablets, Campden. So they kind of sterilize the utensils and the wine itself. Got to learn all that by watching videos. Yeast. I went with one that somebody recommended called Red Star Premier QV. So that's a whole rabbit hole of wine people arguing about different yeasts and different ones better for other stuff. So I don't know. I went with that one. Somebody talked about it. All right. So here's the big deal. Glass jugs get really expensive. Carboy, they're called. So you can easily buy a $70 one, and I didn't really want to do that. So I went to Hobby Lobby. This dude is $44, was on sale for half, so I paid $22. I'm guessing he's 3 or 4 gallons. Should work, right? It's glass. Glass is glass. Clean the crap out of it. Sterilize everything. All right, so here's the other trick. You got to do some learning. This stopper right here, stoppers go by numbers, a number 6, a number 7, a number 8, etc. And what size is what number, right? Who knows? Good luck. So I figured out the mouth of my bottle here is like a 1 5/8 or something like that. So this happens to be, after much digging, a number 10 stopper is 1 1/2 at the bottom, 1 3/4 at the top, fits perfectly in the middle. So I had to figure that out. You got to use your search button. Anyway, did I get it all? I think that, oh, we have here a cheap, once again cheap, I think $7, a hydrometer inside of here. And I didn't realize I was getting one without a tube for it to float in, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But anyway, this little gadget in here, hydrometer, you use to check the sugar content in your mixture while you're putting sugar, so you know how much. You can kind of pick a target, which is known information, and the alcohol content you would like it to be. 12%-ish sounds like the normal thing, and it floats in the liquid. The more sugar in there, the higher it floats. As the sugar turns to alcohol, it sinks. So you check it at the beginning when you're adding sugar to get that certain level you want, starters, then you can watch it over the time you're fermenting to sink down to the level of you know when it's done or it's reached that amount of alcohol level you wanted. So, I think. All right, anyway, that's what I bought. That's the stuff. So, on to the next. Let's go squish some grapes. Big boy, you ready? Huh? You ready? Yeah, he's ready. All right, let's go. Let's go. Squishing grapes. Inside to the wine crushing, the grape crushing. First, we got to sterilize some equipment. So we got some bags. I told you I'm gonna try to use some bags. Got my bucket. I just cleaned it with soap and water. We got the potato smasher. We cleaned with soap and water. Now we have 16 of these Campden tablets. Supposedly I'm gonna crush them up, put everything in this bucket, 16 of those to 1 gallon of water, and let it sit in there for 20-30 minutes, sealed, covered, so it kind of releases a gas, cleans everything. All right, so we're gonna crush them. Now, I know I'm gonna get gigged if I just crush right on this wooden thing because it's got porousy, holes in it, and it's not clean. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna try some wax paper. See if we can't stay sterile here. Don't know what I'm doing here, but look, we're gonna try a ice cream scoop, sterilized as well. Where does it end? All right, see if this works. Probably gonna shoot off the countertop, huh? Ooh, ooh, it looks good. Oh yeah, it's crushing them up nice. All right, yeah, 16 of these babies. Well, that's easy. Hi.
Hi. Now I can't find the lamps.
Uh-oh. My assistant has lost her lamps, or her mind, one or the other. So look what we got going on here. Can you see? Yeah, look, where are we? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Starting to look like a Hollywood party. All right, here we are. We've crushed up a a huge line of Campden tablets. Ew. This is wild. No comment. All right, all right, I'm about to put that in here. I'm gonna eyeball a gallon because I'm not dumping all my milk out to have a 1 gallon jug. All right, so a fifth, 5 gallons, about 1 gallon. Is it gonna work? I don't know. All right, here we go. So we're gonna sanitize some equipment. A sanitized potato smasher, a sanitized bucket, a sanitized cell phone, sanitized hands. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna smush these suckers. Ooh, ooh, oh, they're popping. Man, this old tomato smusher might need to be stronger. I got a lot of grapes in here. A lot of muscadizes. Muscadizzles. Muscadizons. Oh yeah. So I guess you just keep this going. I don't need to film it all, I reckon, but I'm gonna crush 7 gallons of muscadines, and it looks like it's gonna take a while. And so you probably don't wanna watch it all. So I'll be back. All right, crushing muscadines is some work. I'm wore out. I need to get in shape. That was rough. Anyway, so here's where we are. We added the sugar water. All right, here we go. We have dissolved about, this was a 10-pound bag. I read a recipe that used about 9 pounds with 5 pounds of muscadine. So I put about 9 pounds in the spring water, heated it up. All right, so dissolved it, yada, yada, yada. So we're about to pour it in. Then I'm going to go the route of, some people add the yeast right to this right now, but there was another recipe or thought to put more of the Campden tablets like we did earlier, crush more up. So 5 crushed up tablets in the sugar water, in the grapes, muscadines. Let that sit for 24 hours, sterilizes it, supposedly. And then put the yeast in tomorrow after 24 hours of that. So that's the route I'm trying, because I have the Camden tablets. You buy 100 of them for $7 or $8, so I figure let's do that. All right. And this is what it looks like after. So I have 2 bags, and of course a whole lot of extra pulpy skins and whatever floating around in there. I mean, I hope I crushed it enough. Never done it before, so I crushed it till I was pretty freaking wore out, I'll tell you that. So we got the Camden tablets, 24 hours of it gassing off to sterilize, hopefully. The actual concoction, and then we're gonna add that yeast, and on we go. All right, it says to store it in a cool, dry place, so it's pretty dry in here. This dude's up in here, it's my security guard. So if anybody touches my wine, he'll either kill him or lick him to death. And you ain't never seen a place as cool as this. Got my 78 Chevy hot rod living up in this joint. Oh yes, it is cool. So let's see, what are we actually dealing with here? We're 51% humidity, 72 degrees. So that's cool and that's dry. And that makes it cool too. You know, cool, cool. Got all kind of cool stuff. Anyway. All right, so here's our dude. I took some of the concoction out. Let's see if adding water makes it sink and sit lower. Let me give that a little stirry stir. Get it all mixed up. And spin that dude. Might have to settle that down for a little while. Well, it went lower. Okay, that's good. But not enough. Right? Let me look here. Alcohol by volume. 20%. 12. I'm looking for 12. So that would be around there. Let's see. All right, so now I'm kind of perplexed because I might have to study this thing a little bit better. It says that my alcohol, of course, I don't know if that's man, I got a thing here that's approximate alcohol by volume and specific gravity. So specific gravity, I think I'm looking at wanting to have 1.09. Is that right? Yeah, okay, and that's way down here, which is the same as 11.7 approximate alcohol by volume. So let's see where that is on the scale here. It looks like I'm close, but I would like it to come up a tad bit more, it looks like, which is more water. Whew, I added a lot of water to that dude, considering what I got going on in that bucket over there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I have 2 bags in here of muscadine seeds and stuff. So if I take a bag out, that ought to drop the level down. Maybe give me room to, I think it's gonna take a pretty good bit of water, and then I'll just do this whole reading again and try to get this dialed in before I add the yeast. Boy, I look old with these glasses, huh? And the beard. I'm only 21. It writes. Okay, what we have done. What I was talking about, can you see, I took one of the bags out, added water, and checked it again with the floaty hydrometer tube in the bucket this time. I just put the tube in the bucket, pulled the bag out, put it in the bucket. Is it right? I don't know. But I got the readings about right. Best I know what I'm doing. So what we're doing now, I heated up some water, and I have a thermometer in there, and I'm waiting until about 105 degrees let's see what's the pack say. I'm going off of the instructions on one of these packages, okay? And it says, if I can read it with my terrible eyesight, pour yeast into about a quarter cup of water at about 95 to 100 and wait for 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here for a minute until that dude starts getting right under 100. Put the yeast in, wait 20 minutes, pour it in the bucket, because a lot of people put the water too hot, they ruin the yeast, they kill it, so they've got it to where there's enough yeast in that package to still survive, because a lot of it dies because you didn't do the warm water perfectly. You have to do it exactly like the package says. So I did graduate to 3rd grade, so I can follow directions a little bit. All right, let's look at our thermometer here. Can we see that? I'm dipping under 100. I'm about to add the yeast. And in the meantime, I made some beer. I made me some beer with the same process that I'm using here. And I call it Budweiser. You might have seen this in the stores before. It's me. Thank you. It's good stuff. All right, here we go. 20 minutes. Somebody time me. Go. I can't use my timer because it's on his phone, but you people are on my phone, so I can't use my timer. We got a situation. All right. To the second. I've been on countdown here. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Let's see what the temperature ended up doing. It's still just over 80 degrees in there. Okay, so here we go. They said 20 minutes. They said 105 degrees. I did exactly that. All right, here we go. I guess you can't see. Not that it really matters if you see, but here's what we're doing. Boom, you can see. All right. Bloopity bloops. And pourity pour. And get it all up in there. I'm gonna even get a little juice and swirl it, make sure I got it all. See, it might have been it. Might have messed it up right there. That's it. Screwed it up. Who knows? All right. The yeast is pitched. That's what they call it. Pitching the yeast. All right. Oh yeah, that's five smooth gallons. What am I in, about day number 3 or 4? Wee. Hope it's good. It's been a week, 7 days, sitting in the bucket. Stir it every day, smush it all down in there. Looks good to me, I guess. So one thing I did have an issue with is fruit flies started kind of gathering all around it. And all I had on it was the cheesecloth. So I ended up, they could get in, it kind of was starting to seem like, so I added a towel, and then I added 14-inch recording hi-hats because I'm a drummer. So you must get a pair of these. Look, they even got a little breathing hole in the top. I thought it was pretty genius. Awesome, right? All right, so today what we're gonna do, we're gonna use some strainers. We're gonna take and kind of dig out all the chunks, get the bag out, squeeze the bag out, mostly into this jar, and then I bought a second little jar there. I got them Camden tablets in there right now, sterilizing. So once again, always sterilize everything, or at least whatever, the best you can. So I'll try to video some of that. I don't know what I'm about to do. I'm outside because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a disastrous mess. Squish it around here. I don't know if you can even see in there, but it is getting a nice red color to it. Don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks right to me. Bend over. All right, I got some gloves on because I'm about to squish that bag, and I'm sure it's gonna be nasty, and I'm sure you can't get your hands clean enough. So I'm also about to pour the sanitizing Camden tablet water on my gloves and clean them a little bit, and then make a mess. Here we go. All All right, here we go. This is about to be a mess. All right, here's a... Ooh, look at all that juice. That's the good stuff right there. Dude. All right, we're gonna pour our juice, which has been pretty much cleaned up, through more filters. All right, let's see if we can push down on the bottle heavy, so it's probably gonna make a mess. All right. Well, this came out awesome. Look at it. I got my whole big, huge jug full. I imagine that sucker held probably, I don't know, 3.5 something gallons. And then I bought this, like I told you, I bought this little jar at a antique shop today. It's an old vintage vinegar jar. Love it. $10. I have to get me a, I have an extra airlock. I have to get the right size little bung dude, I guess they call it. You got to measure this, like I told you in the beginning video. Order one on Amazon. For in the meantime, I'm gonna put like a, I mean, some people put a condom on there and poke a hole in it. I think I have medical, like a glove, medical gloves. So I'm gonna put, I don't have condoms, I'm married. I'm putting a medical glove, you poke a hole. So I guess it breathes out, not in, and then I'm gonna order one of these the right size. Do it the right way, but for a couple days. All right, for now, there's a little juice left. The wife said, how's it taste? I said, I have no idea. But I think we should try it. Biggie, look at him, he wants to play back there. I ain't got time to play with you, dog, I'm making wine. Look at him. Where you going? Dude's crazy. All right, here we go. Ooh, I ain't drinking from that side. Not too bad. I mean, it ain't even close to ready yet, but ooh. Yeah, if that just keeps getting better, it's gonna be real nice. All right, thanks for watching. Hillbilly Muscadine wine guy, look at these boys right here. What y'all doing, boys? Yes. Look at that. Oh yeah. This dude here, look. What was he doing a minute ago? Look at that, yeah. All right, everybody. That's ridiculous. Making wine, Muscadine wine. All right, here we are, right after pouring this in here about an hour ago, maybe. Look at all the action. Yes, indeed, it's working. All right, now this guy here, it's puffing up and standing up, and there's a little hole in the tip there, and I can even squeeze it out, and just, it'll stand back up in a little while. Fills up. So I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get a proper thing for it, but it's looking good. What you think, Gips? All right. I ordered the little stopper here, and like I said, I measured the opening, and then you can find little charts that tell you which stopper. I think this is a number, stopper 5.5. 6 is pretty common, but I thought it might be, I probably could have got away with it because it's pretty deep. But anyway, pretty simple thing to figure out. So I got two little airlocks going. You can see them bubbling. And this guy's been really bubbling, ripping for a couple days. All right, here we are about 3 weeks into it. And it's slowed down a lot. You can still see little bits of action. Little bitty bubbles, and every once in a while it blows a bubble. Missed it. There he goes. Boop. Bubbles. But it slowed down a whole lot. So I guess very soon, and you can see it's getting clear, and it's all kind of settling to the bottom. So I guess I'm going to, take it out. What do they call it? Rack it. So leave the sediment behind, take the fluids only out, and into new glass jars. I'm gonna actually just use the same. I'm gonna rack it to the first bucket, which is clean, sterilized, sanitized, pasteurized, and then go back into these glass and kind of clean them out, start over, and then let it go more. All right, it's working. All right, I think I'm 3.5 weeks or so into it. They look good. A lot of stuff settled. It's pretty clear looking. So I'm gonna try a racking today, which is, I bought some tubing from, I think, a Tractor Supply, and it is food grade. Clear vinyl tubing used for potable water, drainage lines, food and beverage lines, FDA grade. So I think it was like $7 or $8. All right, so we're gonna siphon out of there into here. I put Camden tablets in here and re-sanitized, sterilized, plagiarized, homogenized, and pasteurized all my stuff again. And I'll be able to take a hydrometer reading, see where we're at. I'm gonna come out of the bottles into the bucket because it's all I got. The original food grade bucket, which I cleaned again. Clean the glass up, and then go back into the glass, put the things back in, see what the hydrometer thing said, and let it go for longer. All right, here we go. And I'm filling up my bucket. And I got my hydrometer in there ready to float. Uh-oh, just sucked up a chunk, saw that. Uh-oh, get her down in there. So I'm gonna play with my height of my tube here. I can see it on the side of the vessel. That's what she said, right? And try not to get the sediment off the bottom. All right, I gotta put you down, camera. Got it out of the bottles, cleaned them. It's a little it's not quite deep enough, so you see I got about this much, so we're looking, what, 3 gallons, 3.5 gallons or so for, that's a 5-gallon bucket. So my hydrometer won't float, but I think once I get it back in here, this guy here full, hydrometer floats in there, so I'm gonna check it there. Anyway, I'm just gonna pick it up and try to pour it back in and make a disaster. Here we go. All right, I'm back in both my jars. Now look, I got my hydrometer floating in this guy. Give him a little spin. Can you see that? Yeah. So already it looks like it's, I mean, it's probably hard to tell on this camera, but I'm at that little blue line is 1.000, so we're looking for slightly less than that, which is right above it in the white there, 0.99, and it pretty much is reading that. So I gotta think I might be done fermenting here. It tastes like wine, by the way. It's pretty much bouncing around where it's supposed to be. We started about 12-ish, and we're at 1-ish, so we got, what, 11% alcohol-ish? Something like that. So I don't know if it's done or not, but I'm gonna let it sit for a while in there and look for bubbles, see if it's doing any more fermenting, but based on the hydrometer, I think it looks done. So I'm gonna do a little more research and let it ride for a little bit. All right, we're back. It is November 18 or something like that. I think I started the wine process in September or something. I think I'll have the dates in the video. Anyway, you've seen it before, but here we are. They have been racked twice. So this will be the 3rd time coming out of the glass. There's still a tiny bit of residue at the bottom of this guy, not so much as him. And I've been tasting him, as you can see, a little bit, and it's already good. So we're gonna get into trying to bottle this sucker, and I'm gonna try to sweeten it a tiny, tiny bit. It's got a little tart hit when you first sip it. So I don't wanna make it sweet, but I'm gonna try to put a teensy something in there, maybe sugar. I've heard corn syrup, honey. I'm gonna try a few things and see which one takes that edge off. And so we're gonna try this today. Now, I bought a whole bunch of bottles. I think they're pretty cool. They got little tops, and can you see? Yeah, they got little tops, and the metal thing, it clamps down. It's pretty awesome. So I don't know how many I'm gonna need here. So and then I have some leftover regular wine bottles in case I need extra, and I have more. So I'm not sure what 4.5 gallons is gonna do. But I've been trying to save bottles instead of buying them. And these little guys were from Hobby Lobby. Caught them on like 50% off sale. So once again, Hobby Lobby, man, I've gotten a lot of a lot of stuff from Hobby Lobby, the glass carboys. So anyway, I just cleaned and sterilized and pasteurized and homogenized and terrorized and crazyized the wine bottles. Sterilized, yeah, everything's got to be sterilized again with the Camden tablets. And I also just bought some potassium sorbate. Ordered this off Amazon, $6-7. So this is also something that they suggest on the right before you bottle, and some Camden tablets. So you got to look up the ratios, but kind of sterilizing and you know, hopefully you're done fermenting, but it's a little extra precautionary step to not try to re-ferment when I put some of the sweetener in. So, all right, here we go. I got me a hose in there. Got a little siphon going. Gonna fill the old bucket up. So check this out. We're racked all into here about, without a scientific, sorry, I can't get the phone this low. I'm about right here. So I put 3 Camden tablets, which would supposedly 1 per gallon. Looks pretty accurate. I'm a little above halfway, 5-gallon bucket. Halfway's 2.5. I mean, come on. You got that, right? All right, so check this out. I got 1 from each jar. This is my little 1 gallon. This is my 3 gallon. So I'm gonna see if they taste any different for any reason. Out of none less than a Marty Moose glass. Celebrate the holidays. Here we go. So this is not sweetened. It's right out the jug here. It's good. It's good. It is good. So I could totally drink that. Like I say, it's a little tart on the very, you know, when you first sip it. It's good. A little tart. I'm gonna put just enough sweetener in here to take that little edge off. Not to be sweet. I don't like sweet wines, and so anyway, if you decide to sweeten wine, it's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down, so do a lot of homework. Anyway, so we have Camden tablets. There is the potassium sorbate that's gonna go in here in a minute. I kind of don't know if it matters, but somebody said let the Camden tablets kind of work for a little while. They gas off, so maybe let that go for a minute. Stir it real good a few times. Then I'm gonna put the recommended amount of this sorbate in here to help hopefully not let it go to re-fermenting. And then sweeten it a little bit and put it in bottles. And we did this thing. It's awesome. Can't wait to drink some. See what my handy helper thinks. What you think, Skibbies? Poor guy. Poor guy, Mommy made him wear a sweater. He hates it. All right, the moment of truth. I have added some brown sugar. It's pretty good. It is good. It's good. So this is I don't know how much to tell you I added. This guy was kind of full to the same line here. And I took that many scoops out, kind of that big chunk, about a fistful probably, in some warm water. Added it. It's nice. It barely took the edge off. That's what I wanted. And I think I'm drunk because I've been sipping it for like an hour. But let's digress from that because it's Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Who doesn't have a buzz? All right. Professional wine makers like me. All right, here's what we got going on. It is all beautiful. All the tablets, Camden potassium sorbates. I've been stirring it. It's been about, like I say, about an hour maybe. 30, 40 minutes. Let it kind of do whatever it's doing before I shove it into a bottle and cork it. Hopefully it doesn't explode the cap off. It tastes good. I think we're all good. So now we're going to take and start trying to siphon into these bottles. I got a feeling it's going to be a disaster, so I got them in the sink just in case. And the boss is home. Here we go. All right, we're flowing. Whew. Got to drink a lot of this stuff to do this. I don't even want to drink. It's Tuesday. here we go. Check her out. Ooh, it's awesome. And I'm just gonna go bottle to bottle till I run out, or run out of bottles, and then I'll just pick the white jug up and drink it out the jug, I guess. What's one to do?
Ho, ho, ho.
Boom. Whoo, man. I got a lot of wine. I've been saving bottles. You know, I'll drink a regular bottle of wine I buy from the store, and I've just been saving the bottles. And then I bought all those bottles that you saw from Hobby Lobby. And I just did, 3.5-ish gallons, which was 7.5 gallons of raw Muscadine. And then the whole process, and I ended up with this. So I got, let's see here, I'm gonna get my phone camera. I love these little guys. I'll probably give these away to friends. You got the cork thingies on here that you can reuse. And I didn't have to buy corks and a cork press thingy. And then, I had to literally run outside and grab more bottles while I was siphoning it out of the bucket because I was running out of bottles. It's a pretty good bit of wine. Woo! All right. And for the last taste test, there's some right here in the bucket. So to celebrate, we're going to drink the last swig right out the bucket. Ooh, it's good. Man, I'm excited. Muscadine wine, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fun process. I recommend it. It's been fun. It's been easy. Didn't cost me much money. I don't think $100, less than $100, and that's everything I bought. Glass, ingredients, all of it. Bottles, all of it. Awesome. And, of course, I have the Muscadines at home, which also is an advantage. Oh, goodness. I think I need to sit down. Merry Christmas.